G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. I have another video with the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro and E6. And I have to say, the first video I did, it was pretty bad. I had multiple disconnects. I had a really bad time with the E6 Golf app. The license seemed to not give me the practice facilities. There were a lot of issues. I'm happy to say I have solved a lot of those problems. The connection issues are a little bit better. They're still not great. I'm still not getting the correct spin axis. However, I have found out that is definitely a bug and it is going to get solved. So that's really good. The other thing I'm excited about is I now have access to the practice facilities. How did I do this? So I was talking to David Maxwell, and if you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you check out his channel. He puts up a lot of videos on the MLM2 Pro and the R10, but I was talking to him about binding and unbinding launch monitors with E6. So the way I have my E6 account set up with my devices, I have a separate email address or a separate E6 account for each device. So right now my Rapsodo is connected to E6. And if you look in the top right hand corner, you've got Rapsodo MLM2 Pro. For me to play my Garmin, I need to log out of my Rapsodo MLM2 Pro account or unbind my launch monitor and then rebind my Garmin R10 or log in with my Garmin R10 email address. The reason I've done this is because if I ever want to sell one of these devices, I can just give the email and the password for the E6 account to whoever buys it, and then there's no issues. I don't have to worry about contacting E6 potentially. They can just have that license tied to that account. When I was talking to David, we were talking about binding and unbinding licenses, and he said, oh, am I going to lose my Garmin license if I unbind it from E6? And I said the short answer is no. And I went through and explained the process and did it while I was doing it. I logged out of the Rapsodo account, logged into my Garmin account. It'll ask you to activate your license. It does save it with your license. As long as you remember your login details for your E6 account, your license is saved. And when I did that, I logged into my Garmin account and it came up, everything worked. When I unbound my R10 and bound my Rapsodo back up, it gave me access to the practice facilities. So for whatever reason, they didn't work the first time, but when I unbound and rebound my license, they worked. And so I now have access to the practice facilities. So I'm super excited because these practice facilities are really good and I've used these a lot. But what I want to show you is real quick. I'm just going to go to games. Next, I'm going to show you this world long drive range because this is something that also didn't work in my first video. It now works. So what you can see is you've got your world long drive range. Again, playing these games, you would do this when you have people over and you can have kind of a long drive challenge, I guess. But let's exit that round. As you can see, I haven't had a dropout yet, touch wood. As soon as I've said that, I'll probably have a dropout now. Let's jump into the practice facilities because I didn't get to show these off in the first video. What you get is driving range. And when you go into the driving range section, you actually have multiple ranges. So you've got a flat range, you've got a range with large targets, you've got a shot shaping range, you've got a small target range, and then you've also got that world long drive grid. So if you're working on speed, something like that long drive range would be really useful to have and use. The flat range is pretty boring. Let's jump in and look at the large target range. And when you open this range, you're actually met with something kind of like a mountain range, I guess. You've got the mountains in the background. It looks quite nice. What you can do with this range is the target in the bottom right-hand corner there. If you select that target and then select the one just to the left of it that pops up, you can actually place that target on a green. So I can place that target on that second green there, which is 97 yards. Click the tick, and now I'm gonna get data reference where I hit it on the green, and I'll show you that now. So I'll hit a couple of shots to that flag. So as you can see, we're still not getting shot shape. They are going to add shot shape, I guess, or fix shot shape. There is a bug which affects the spin axis at the moment. However, that is going to be fixed hopefully within the next week with an app update from E6. That was a better shot. Okay, coming up a little short and then spinning it back. So what you're going to see now is wherever the ball ends up doesn't, I guess, really matter for the purpose of this target. Because what you get in the top left-hand corner there is your percentage of how often you hit that target. So right now I'm on 100%, and as you can see in the top left-hand corner, 100% of my shots have been short right. I hit a draw, my spin axis was showing a draw. It's not getting that because there is a bug in the software. So my shots would have most likely been a lot straighter or in line with the pin because they would have started right and just drawn back slightly. I'm not getting that draw, so they're all ending up right. So I'll try and start this a bit further left and hit it a bit harder. Okay, not a bad shot. And we'll have a look at the stats, the metrics. As you can see, started a bit straighter and went pretty straight for spin axis. Looking at the top left-hand corner now, we have our average distance to the hole, our percentage, and then the percentage of where you hit shots. So all my shots are coming up short. So that is a look at the large target range. Let's now go back. We'll exit round to new course. The next range you have is a shot shape range. So let's jump into that. Okay, so this is the shot shaping range. And what you can see is, I'll look at a top-down view. You've got bunkers all up the middle of the fairway. And the idea of this range is to pick, say, a flag. We'll go for the 184-yard flag on the right there. And we'll tick that. And then the idea is, if you send it straight down the middle and try and fade it back to that target. Now, of course, this isn't really going to work because right now the spin axis isn't working with E6. However, just know you've got a range. You can do shot shaping. I mean, you could just come to this range and just practice different yardages because you've got heaps of greens here at different yardages, and you can put your target, I guess, if you want to call it, on any one of these greens and just aim directly at the green. The other thing you have, instead of moving the target, if you don't want to use the target, you can just aim at the different greens by clicking on them. Okay, let's go to the small target range. And this one's probably my favorite. This one is a lot shorter, so the shots are a lot shorter, and the greens are a little smaller. Oh, we've had our first disconnect. So this one here, you've got 81 feet, and I wish with E6, after say 30 feet, just give me the distance in yards. So that one's about 26 yards. You've also got a 47-yard shot, 59-yard shot, 75, 78, 98. This big green on the right, you can click in multiple locations as well. So you've got 107 to 118 yards. You've got 127 and all the way out to 200 yards. So this is a really cool range, and I do love this short target range. The only other options you've got are flat range and long drive range, which they're a bit boring. I've shown the long drive range. The flat range is just a basic range. So let's go back to the chip and putt section. This section is one of my favorite sections, and I'll show you why. We'll jump into it. You do have an option to play all these different type of shots, but all this is doing is giving you a set yardage on the actual chipping range. It's all done on the same range. So you can select chip and putt area, and then you can set up your shot that you want to do. So right now we're set up on the edge of the green. We've got a 58-foot chip shot. What you can do is click on the ball icon in the bottom right, and then you can place your ball wherever you want. So we can place it over here. We can place it back there. We can go across this path. We can go all the way over to the other side of the green. We can keep going further and further. And you can go back quite far. I think the longest shot you can have is around 100 yards. So it looks like that's as far back as it's letting us go, which is 97, 98, 99 yards. That being said, you can also move the pin location on the green. So if you select the pin icon, you can now adjust where you want the pin to be. So where we had it before, it was right at the back of the green. It's letting us play a 117-yard shot. We can put the pin at the front. Let's do a 60-yard shot. So we'll push select, and I'm just going to go and try and reconnect my MLM2 Pro, and it did actually drop the connection with the unit. So we'll connect E6, we'll jump back into E6, and hopefully it picks up the device, which it doesn't seem to have picked up the device. So I'm going to exit out of this round to the main menu. I'll go practice, chip and putt. I will just pick one of these 70-yard tree shot. We'll pick that one. It's having a think, and it doesn't like it. I've got a blue flashing light now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of E6 completely. I'll exit out of the Rapsodo app completely and start from fresh, and hopefully we can get it connected again. Okay, connection successful. Let's go back into E6. We are connected. So let's go to practice. We'll select our name, chip and putt, and we'll just do a 50-yard log shot. Tee off. And perfect, the device is ready. So, I mean, this is a tough shot. I'm gonna have to get this pretty high quite quickly. All right, 50 yards. So I'm gonna open the face up, play almost like a flop shot. And that's a really good shot. Don't spin. I do love this chipping and putting section. I spent a lot of time here with my R10 just working on wedge distances. A tip is, if you want to have random wedge distances, create about 8 guests or as many guests as it lets you have. And then for each one of those guests, you can put in a different location, which is going to give you a different yardage. And so then every shot, you're going to have a different yardage. Right. So let's go in, we'll move our ball around. We'll move our ball over here, and we'll give ourselves a 40-yard shot to the pin, and we'll play a bit lower of a shot now, and we'll try and drive this in lower and run it up to the hole. It didn't like that shot. I'll try that again. So again, I'll play like a low running shot. There we go, registered that one. A little bit short. And then finally what we'll do is we'll jump into this bunker and we'll give ourselves a tough shot. We've got 35 yards. Might be long. Oh no, it's short. The penalty, I forgot about the penalty. We'll do that again. So penalty, sorry, is if you look top right, you'll have the red bar. So it's gonna take off quite a lot of power. So we're gonna have to hit this almost twice as hard. So I've got 35 yards. Let's try and play this about, let's go 60 yards as a feel, and it will be like a bunker shot. So I felt like I hit that quite hard, and it's still not enough. This is quite a hard shot. Let me get one more go at this. We'll try and at least get it on the green. Let's go even harder. Let's go 70 yards as a feel. Should be perfect. Go! It's going to come back off the green. That's a hard shot. So that is the chipping and putting green. I do love these practice facilities. I'm so glad that I unbound and rebound my Rapsodo, and for whatever reason, it just unlocked these. So let's exit round. We'll go to the main menu. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I will make another video as soon as this E6 gets the update that gives us actual shot shape or spin axis. I will do a video on that. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, let me know. If you've got any comments or questions, let me know down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.